Hello viewers, today we are going to discuss the theories about the origin of languages. What's the language origin? And there are many theories, and this topic has been discussed since ages, and so there are so many theories about it, about the origin of language. There are some religious theories, some non-religious theories, some scientific theories. So in this lecture we will study those theories and we will come to some conclusion that what is actually the origin of language, how the language was created, was it invented by human, or it was discovered, or it was given by some divine source. So let's study those theories one by one. The first theory is that's called the divine source theory, and this theory says that the language was actually hard coded inside human brain and it came with humans. So according to this theory, if we allow two infants to grow individually, independently, and in isolation, they will develop some new language, and that new language will be actually the God-given language. There were many experiments done on this theory, and one experiment was done almost 25,000 years back by an Egyptian pharaoh, and in that experiment two newborn babies were kept in isolation except for the company of goats and a mute shepherd. And after 2 years they saw that those newborn babies produced a new word, that is bekos, which means bread in some Phrygian language, which is spoken in some areas of modern day Turkey. But from this they concluded that newborn babies can develop their own language, but actually it is not true, because actually they just spoke the word be. The kos was added by the Greek historians, and if we observe the word be, it is actually be is actually the sound of the goat. So from this experiment we conclude that the newborn babies cannot produce their own language. And so the next theory is natural sound theory, and this natural sound theory says that the new words in any language are created from the natural sounds. It's also called the bow theory. Like the word bow refers to the dog, because dog's sound is just like bow. Similarly, the name kaka is given to the crow, because crow's sound is like kaka and cuckoo sound is like cuckoo. Similarly, splash, bang, boom, rattle. So this theory says that the new words are created from the natural sounds. But actually, if we observe this theory, there are actually very few words in any language which are similar to the natural sounds. So what are the source of the rest of the words which are not related to any natural sound? So this theory also has some reality, but on the whole it is not the actual origin of the language. And after that, the third theory is the social interaction source theory. It's also called ye he ho theory, and according to that theory, when the humans started living in groups, but actually human is social animal, but when humans started hunting, agriculture, and farming, these all of these were group activities. So in group activities they used to shout, they used to call each other with some different sounds, and those sounds with the passage of time turned into language. So there may be some reality in this social interaction theory as well, because when we live in a group, some new word is created, and that new word is adopted by the whole group, and it becomes a new vocabulary. Like there are new words produced every day, like the word of selfie was produced few years back. But this theory also has some reality, but actually it's not the only origin or the only source of language origin. Another theory is physical adaptation theory. This is also a very strong theory, and it says that we humans have been created in such a way that we are very suitable for language. For example, if we observe these two skulls, these two structures, this is the structure of gorilla and this is the structure of humans. Our teeth are very suitable for sound because teeth are very important while producing some sounds, and by teeth you can produce sounds like theta or the. So we cannot produce these sounds without proper teeth. But as gorilla doesn't have teeth like us, so gorilla cannot produce these sounds. Similarly, our lips are more suitable for sounds because there are many sounds which are produced by lips, like the sound of M, sound of P, sound of B. We cannot create these sounds without lips. And the very important structural change in human body that came that was evolved over time is actually the pharynx cavity. In humans and in animals, we have larynx. Larynx is called the sound box. It actually contains vocal cords. These vocal cords vibrate and sound is produced. And on larynx there is a shallow cavity which is called pharynx. And pharynx, it's actually a resonator which resonates the sounds, and so and similarly this cavity is also present in humans. But when humans came to standing posture, this cavity increased in size because animals are not in the standing posture. They walk on 4 feet, but we humans walk on 2 feet. So our upright posture gave us the luxury of a greater vacuum here, which is called pharynx. Due to this greater shallow cavity of pharynx, we are able to produce variety of sounds. You can understand this concept with this instrument. In this instrument, you can say that these wires are actually vocal cords which are inside the larynx, and when we speak, these wires vibrate and the sound is produced. And this shallow cavity is actually pharynx. In humans, this shallow cavity has greater size, but in animals it has a smaller size. So actually the quality and the variety of sounds which is produced by this music instrument depends upon the size and shape of this shallow cavity, which is called pharynx in our scenario, in our case. So the development of a greater or bigger pharynx gave us ability to speak different variety of sounds. And scientists still believe that if some species which are very close to human species adopt standing posture, they can also speak like humans. So this is also a valid theory to some extent, but there was a cost for this bigger space, and this cost is actually the choking of food in our throat. And because due to this bigger space or this bigger cavity of pharynx, we cannot eat, we cannot take breath while eating. So there may be some case that food is choked in our throat is choked with the food. So this is the cost that we paid for speech. And next is tool making ability. The tool making, if we study the ancient history of humans, we see that the time period when humans learned to make new tools, it was the same time when humans created a language, because the scientists believe that the portion of human brain which is related to tool making is also related to speech, because the tool making and speech are very similar capabilities. Like say you have an element N and an element I and an element B. you combine them and you make a new tool. This is how tools are developed. Similarly, if we combine them in different orders, another tool will be created. Similarly, these are two new words. So language creation and tool making are similar activities, and the tool making ability is also unique in only in humans. It is not in animals. So it's also a theory that our brain has that capability that we can speak. And finally, some scientists believe that there is some speech gene or the language gene that we humans have, which animals do not have. So that's why we can speak and animals cannot speak. And according to this theory, this due to this gene, all the changes occur to human body with the passage of time, like upright posture, the development of tool making ability, and all these changes occur to us. Like if you observe the newborn baby can drink milk while he's breathing, but we cannot drink milk while we are breathing. But when the newborn baby develops the upright posture, when the newborn baby is actually crawling, he can drink as well as breathe. But when he comes to the standing posture, the upright posture, his hands are freed, so he can use his hands to for tool making, for different block games. And so at the same time his shallow space of pharynx is increased, so he can produce new sounds, and at the same time his mental ability is enhanced, so that he can coin new words from basic sounds. So these series of changes occur to human body when he actually becomes toddler from the crawler. So these changes as a whole are the cause of language creation, and some scientists believe that it's actually the genetic, it's in our gene that we can speak. So the conclusion is, language is not actually burned in human language, in human brain. It was invented with the passage of time, just like computers and aeroplanes, and it took thousands and thousands of years to develop a language. And there are chances that one generation produced few words and next generation added some words to the previous language, and this process continued so that a full-fledged language was created. So all the languages that we observe on this planet Earth are actually a result of this series of a result of this effort that spanned thousands of years. So when a language dies, the whole human wisdom of thousands of years dies with it. So we should try to preserve each and every language, and because it is not just it's a great effort of mankind. That's it. Thanks.